Welcome everybody back to my 32 fan series. We're here to talk all things Chicago Bears. And the great thing about talking to you is when we first started doing this, the Bears were like awful. And now they've gotten better. And so now we're on the upswing. So that's super exciting. And then if this is the first episode that you're listening to, there will be one episode for every single team. So if this is your first one, there's either a plethora to follow or before or after, all of those good things. So without further ado, I will let you introduce yourself, whatever you want to tell us about Chicago, and then how long you've been a fan, anything you want to share with us.
What's happening, my beautiful people? This is Nestor Thomas, the one and only, right? 133 Kings podcast, and one half of the Big and Bright that is making a return. With my man Jason Rutley, you know what I'm saying? For Detroit Lions die hard, but I'm Chicago. Hard. But been a fan my whole life of the Chicago Bears. Nothing new. Like I said, got into it again because my uncle, who passed 2 years ago, was a beloved Chicago Bears fan. My father was a beloved Chicago Bears fan. My father's from Chicago. 85 Bears, all of that. I was born in 83. Still have vague memories of them winning the Super Bowl in 85. I was 2 years old watching it on the TV.
Okay.
Yeah, so always been a fan.
Okay. Well, how is it to be a Bears fan right now? I feel like you guys have kind of been through it, and you didn't have a quarterback, you didn't have a lot of things. It was a little bit chaotic. Didn't have a coach, didn't just have any stability, really, if we're just going to call it what it is. How does it feel now? You have Ben Johnson, stability. Caleb Williams seems to be getting better. Like how do you feel now being a Bears fan? I know there's the stadium moving and all that happening, but how is it just being a fan just overall of the football team?
The sky's the limit at this point. The sky's the limit. Like I said, we got the quarterback in place. And I was kind of skeptical of it because, again, I wanted to see what he was going to do this season. It started out slow. It was pretty brutal. But then as the season picked on, he picked it up and he turned it up another level. And he ended up being a guy that, I was a fan of initially when he first got to Oklahoma and then went to USC, you know what I'm saying? And I had an old tweet out there that said if there was ever a guy to supplant Justin Fields from the Chicago Bears, he was the guy. And I little hesitant on him being the Bears quarterback because of Justin and what he brought, the toughness, the grit, the warrior mentality. But Caleb got that same warrior mentality. So we can ride with it. Let's ride.
Okay. I love that. So I know you all sent away the receiver in free agency. And so what?
I knew it was coming.
Yeah. So, and then the draft happened. So how are you, like for me, anytime my team's never really sent away anybody probably as big, but you kind of know like, okay, we have something we need to fill. So heading into the draft, how are you feeling? What are your thoughts on the draft? What one word would you use to describe the draft?
Phenomenal. That draft was phenomenal. And a lot of people may not understand the dealings or the ins and outs of that draft. Again, like last year when I sat here and I told you, and I told you the guy that everybody was going to be crazy about, right? And I said, the running back Kyle Monangai.
Yeah.
Enough said. So again, and I'll predict a guy on this one as well that will blow everyone away. And he's on the D line and we picked him up. But I'm going to let that one ride out for a little bit. But the draft was phenomenal. I mean, we drafted everybody that we needed for 13 personnel. 13 personnel, which is, for those who don't know what 13 personnel is, that's 3 tight ends, 1 wide receiver, 1 back. So, do
you want to tell us the advantage of 13 personnel? Why teams run 13 personnel?
Well, mainly, and if anyone wants to know what the advantage of a 13 personnel is basically being able to be unpredictable from any formation that you're in and being able to run everything that you can in your normal playbook out of that formation. You make yourself very unpredictable to a defense, and you force a defense into a coverage that is more favorable for your offense, to where you can take full advantage of how they're aligned.
If you like this video, now is a perfect time to take a second and hit that like button and leave us a comment in the comment section below. I love it. Is there a day 2, day 3 pick that you loved? Like, who was your favorite day 2 or day 3 pick where you were like, man, this is it. We got us one.
The tight end that we picked up out of Stanford. I don't know everybody's names right now.
That's fine.
Picked up out of Stanford because, and not only him, I say him and the center that we picked up out of Iowa. That was huge.
Okay.
He's going to be the anchor of the offense. Not only the anchor of the offense, he is going to be the plow of the offense. Get to the second level. He's going to be able to anchor himself down and turn and get that corner that we, get that crease and get that corner that we need. You need a true ass kicker up front, and that is he is. He started all 4 years at Iowa. And if anybody know about Iowa, Iowa's O-line U, just like their tight end U.
Yeah.
Anything you get from Iowa, if you're a 4-year starter at Iowa, you're destined for great things in the NFL. So again, I'm ecstatic about that pick. That was probably my best pick of the draft right there, was the center from Iowa. I'm sorry, again, I don't want to pause the interview or anything to go look for his name or anything like that. But the center from Iowa and the tight end from Stanford is going to be huge because, again, we lost Smythe. Our tight end, to free agency. He was our third tight end. Now we got Colston Loveland. We got Cole Kmet, and now we got the tight end from Stanford, who is a blocking tight end, but also can be a pass catcher. He's good in the run. He's good in the pass. Ben Johnson is the evil genius, as we all know, and he's going to do a lot of things with this offense, a lot of things.
Okay. Is there one player from this draft class? I know you just mentioned two. Who do you think is going to make the biggest immediate impact?
The center. Absolutely.
Okay.
The center is going to make the biggest immediate impact just because, again, he is going to be an ass kicker. And again, he's going to be a true ass kicker. And again, having that up front, being able to do those things, being able to do the things that you want to do in the, in the offense, to where, I mean, you're what the Bears are going to be like, right? And this is the honest to God truth. What the Bears are going to be like, they're going to be full head on dominant. If you want a version or a look of what the Bears will be like this going into the season, think of when we played the Philadelphia Eagles and we just pounded them into. It was nothing that they could do. I mean, exactly nothing that they could do. I mean, don't get me wrong. I definitely love the pickup of what's his name? From the safety from Oregon that we picked up in the first round. I love that, right?
You like the first pick, yeah. Because I know you all also got Malik Muhammad, but he was later. Yeah. He was day 3.
Dylan Thieneman is who we picked up. So I definitely love that pick. I love that pick for many reasons, due to the fact that Thieneman, again, you put him with Kobe Bryant back there at the safety spot. They're very, they're very interchangeable. They both can play each other's positions. They're both rangy. And of course, Thieneman is a freakish safety, runs a 4.3 40, damn near 4.2. He can go in the box. He can cover. He can shoot the gaps. He can get in the backfield. He can do everything that you want him to do. The only thing I would like to see him do is get more weight in his ass because he's thin. He's definitely thin. But aside from that, I feel that the Bears could possibly be. I mean, what Bears could possibly be, and this is the honest to God truth, right? Bears could possibly be the best defensive secondary in the entire league, and that
we'll get into that here in a second because I have a question that you might give me that answer to. Okay. I want to know: was there a player that you wanted that you guys didn't get? Was there a player before the draft that you were hoping that you all would get, and you just kept passing? You think he might come back to haunt you?
Okay. I would have to say the edge rusher from Miami, both of them.
Okay, Mesidor and Bain.
Mesidor and Bain, and I would say, I get it. They left before we got the opportunity to pick. Did I think I'm gonna jump up and go and grab them? Yeah, but also I have a theory behind that, which is very true. The reason at first I was upset and pissed off about the fact that we didn't jump up and go and get an edge. Why? Why didn't we jump up and go and get an edge? Well, if you look at it and a standpoint, right? Name me a NFL team, Super Bowl team, that has a high-paid edge rusher and won a Super Bowl. They don't coincide with one another. They don't. Go down the line and think if you're going to find a highest paid or high paid or edge rusher, you're not going to find one at all. And that's the honest to God truth, because they don't coincide with each other. Highest paid does not produce Super Bowl results.
Yeah.
So,
So let's get into that, because I have a theory or a frustration with the Bears, because I do feel like they're lacking a pass rush a little bit.
mm-hmm.
Do you feel like they're lacking a pass rush? Is it just me being on the outside looking in? Like, I feel like being able to get pressure on the quarterback hurt them in the playoffs, because it was like every quarterback they played had, in my opinion, too much time to like do what they wanted to do, literally and figuratively.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you think about that? Is that something that I'm thinking, or how do you feel about that?
Given the fact that we have a very, very long time before we kick off in September,
Mm-hmm.
because we have Montez Sweat at one edge,
Mm-hmm.
and we have Austin Booker at the other edge, who, if he would have played and not gotten hurt, he probably would have finished with 10 to
Got
12.
it. Okay, so somebody was hurt. Okay.
So again, excuse me. So again, I'm not worried about the edge. What I'm worried about is the D tackle position. But yes, that is a very strong and true position of concern for me, is the D line going into the season. And I hope somewhere along the lines, as we can see, we just lost DJ Reader. He just signed with the New York Giants. He was out there as a free agent. And, given the fact that the New York Giants just gave up their star D tackle in a trade, they traded him. And he's gone. So now then they just picked up DJ Reader. That was stout, man. And I thought, damn, maybe he landed with the Bears. But Calais Campbell is still out there. There's some stud D tackles out there. And again, people correlate edge rush with pressure on the quarterback. Pressure comes up through the middle, the D tackle position. That's what ruins an offense. Excuse me, I'm talking too fast. An athletic quarterback can escape edge pressure, right? And there's a lot of athletic quarterbacks in the NFL. Mm-hmm. What they can't escape is pressure directly coming at them up the middle. Can't escape that. It ruins an offense. It shuts down everything an offense wants to do. And those two gentlemen that I was talking about, I want to get their names. Logan Jones, the center from Iowa, and Sam Roush, the tight end from Stanford.
Perfect. Look at you self-correcting in the middle of the episode. Kudos to you. We love to see it. So what is success going to look like for the Bears this year? When the season is over, are you Super Bowl or bust? We at least have to get there. Like, where are you feeling at with success for this team?
We came out of nowhere last year. We surprised a lot of people. I believe that we're not going to surprise a lot of people this year. I don't think we're going to catch anybody slipping per se, as they like to say. So, in that standpoint, with that matter, I would have to say, truthfully and honestly, I believe success for the Chicago Bears will look like something like this. The Bears probably go 12-5, possibly 13-4. I don't see us losing many games. And to be totally honest, I do believe that we will fight for a chance to go to the Super Bowl this season. I'm not saying we're going to be there. We'll fight for a chance to the Super Bowl this season. It'd be great if we make it, but I think we get in the NFC Championship this season, and then let the chips fall where they may. But the Bears are up. They're way up.
Yeah. If Ben Johnson would have kicked a field goal, anyways.
Very true.
I felt a way about that. So obviously I felt a way about that. Right. So I just feel like in the playoffs, you got to take the points. I'm not ever going to come down off of that. I'm never coming down off that. Like, it's the playoffs. Like, so what position group worries you the most at this point?
D-line again. We have to get some ass kickers up there on that D tackle spot. We have to get some grown men at that D tackle spot. But again, that's where this guy comes in, and I think he's going to be the absolute steal of the draft. Jordan Vanderberg, D tackle out of Georgia Tech. Mark my words. Bears fans, you are going to love. I absolutely love this pick. Okay. This is a guy, again, that can be an absolute ass kicker, a destroyer up front. Jordan Vanderberg, D tackle from Georgia Tech. Again, I see it. He's going to be a standout guy. He's definitely going to be a standout guy. His body, his look, everything about him alone is just massive. He's a massive man, man. And you put him at that D tackle position in the NFL with the right coaching, and he already has the heart and the wherewithal and the motor. He is going to be a force up the middle. Mark my word.
I love this.
Again, I gave you Kyle Monangai last year.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's going to be Jordan Vanderberg this year. That's going to catch a lot of people by surprise.
Okay. And that would be good for the Bears because he need it. So that's good. And I like seeing the rise of teams. I just think it's fun to watch the rise. So where's this team improved the most from last season, do you think?
Defensive secondary. Defensive secondary, I would say, because again, last year we battled a lot of injuries. Again, we were down to like our 4th, 5th man, in the defensive secondary. So again, and then of course we had Jaquan Brisker,
to my Steelers.
Yeah, he went to your Steelers, you know what I'm saying? And I love Brisker. Brisker was he was our hard hat, you know what I'm saying? He was our thumper too, but also he was injured a lot. So and it wasn't physical, it was up here. So that's a big problem, you know what I'm saying? One more concussion, that young man his career may end and be over. So he's from Pittsburgh. He's from the PA area. So
he went to school with JPJ, with Joey Porter Jr.
Yep. So from the PA area. So it's good that he went back home. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I thank him for his service with the Bears. Appreciate you, homie. But our defensive secondary is probably will be one of the best in the NFL.
And that's my next question. What do you think? What do you think this team will do better than most teams in the NFL? Would you stay with that, or would you pick something else?
I am going to go on a limb here, and I want to do it, but I
just say it.
Our receiving core. Our receiving core is going to be a lot better. What worries me is the fact that, we can get separation. Guys can get separation. Guys can get open. But, it's just that safety valve that DJ Moore, he gave us. He just gave us that safety valve. It was something that we needed. But, you live and let live, I guess, and
you find a new one.
Yeah,
find a new one.
He was gonna get traded though, because him and Justin was like this, right? And him and Caleb really wasn't clicking. You know what I'm saying? They tried to, it wasn't no beef, it wasn't this, it wasn't that, it wasn't this. They wanted him out of there because they knew that he was
just didn't look good.
They knew what it was. So
okay, fair. So let's do a fun round. I'm curious to see what you're going to say to some of these. So the first question is your quarterback confidence on a scale from 1 to 5. 1, get this guy out of here immediately. 5 being, I think he could stay here as long as he wants to stay here.
All right, 5.
Okay, perfect. I love to hear that from you. We've turned a new leaf. I love it.
Well, I mean, look, you got to win me over with your play. You want me?
I like it.
Play. I don't like all the shenanigans off the field. But I don't give a damn. Thing is, come to play on Sunday. That's all that matters.
That's it.
Want me over
when you're in that stadium and on that field, I need to see it. After that, you go do Absolutely. Whatever that looks like. So coaching staff trust level on a scale from 1 to 5.
5. I trust Ben Johnson. I trust everything that Ben Johnson is doing. To be totally honest, I do believe that Ben Johnson has our best interest at heart. I do believe that everything that he's doing is what they call calculated geniusness.
Okay.
Also, I just believe that,
you just like him. You just like what he's doing. You trust him.
I like what he does, so.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Hey, listen, I've been there. Okay. Like I understand. So who do you think is going to carry this team this year? Do you think it's going to be the offense or the defense?
I believe it'll be the offense. The offense will carry this team this year.
Has the offense ever carried the Browns or the Bears?
No, never. Well, I take The 1 year the offense did carry the defense. It was very brief. I think it was in the 2013 or 2014 season. We had the top. I think we were number 1 or number 2 overall offense in the NFL. But that was under he was real crazy, quirky looking dude with the glasses. He was our head coach then.
I don't remember.
He was right before John Fox. I can't think of his name right now.
Okay.
Trestman, Mark Trestman.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm looking. Okay, interesting. That'll be interesting to see if the offense carries that team, then that's a great team because the defense usually the defense is going to do what the defense is going to do. So okay, if you could trade drafts with any other team, who would it be? And you trade all of your picks, and they get all your picks.
Absolutely, the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland.
What 2 picks do you love the most?
Rush. The draft. The picks that I love that they made the most, I would have to say the Spencer Fano, the tackle. And then, of course, they picked up Denzel Boston. Big, stocky. I think that's David Boston's son, if I'm not mistaken. The boy.
I think it's not. So somebody on the NFL Network, because I was watching the NFL Network when he went, they had to come back and make a correction. So I don't think it is, but I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong with that. No, they were trying to figure out who he's related to. I'm like, guys,
it may be.
Is it? Maybe then on the telecast they got it wrong because they had to apologize because they tried to associate him with somebody, and they were like, "Oh, that's not correct." I'm like, okay.
Wow. Well, you know what? You may be right, but I think his dad is David Boston? Chris Boston. Okay.
Yeah, so it was like they tried to associate him with him, and then there's somebody else in the NFL. They were like, they're cousins. I'm like, no, they're not.
I don't know if they got to be related. And some fast.
They don't know they're related, but they're related.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Somehow, but who knows?
So you like Denzel, and then was there anybody else? Those are the first. Did you like anybody else in the later rounds that you thought, ooh, okay, that's a really good pick?
Yeah. I take that back. I want to say Austin Barber.
You just thought that they got good players.
They got a lot of protection for Shedeur. They got a lot for Shedeur.
Oh gosh.
What about and then they say, well, what about I can't think of his name right now. Everybody's name is escaping me right now.
They say when you get older, sometimes.
Deshaun Watson. So Deshaun Watson is not going to be there. They'll probably move him right after this season if they can to get him off the books. No,
this is his last year. So they either cut him and pay him the money, or he stays and they play him and they're like, to be honest with you, if this as a business person, I would let him go out there because if he manages to be okay, then somebody else will come get him.
Exactly.
But if he's just bad, you have to show that he's either bad or good, because not playing him, you still have to pay him regardless.
Right.
So why not just play him? I think people, when I say this, people always think it's a knock on Shedeur. This has nothing to do with Shedeur. It has everything to do with business.
Yeah. Shedeur proved
yeah, they owe that man $50 million. Like, you want him just to sit around?
Right. I need to investment. Get him out there.
Right. And how old is he? I mean, he's
getting up there. He's getting up there.
How old is Deshaun? He's 30.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's getting up there. So
yeah, so that's why I'm like, you got to try him out. You have to try him out to see what he's going to do. And if he sucks, you take him out. If he's not sucky, you leave him and you hope somebody might come trade for him. So that's what I would do.
Absolutely.
That's what I would do.
I mean, so again, Shedeur is young. He's proven. Yeah. Let him sit back and continue to learn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's time.
Like Deshaun, and let the chips fall where they may, and let things be what they be.
It. What do they say? I hate this. Trust the process. I hate that saying, but I find myself saying it sometimes to my own self. I'm like, girl, you're fine. Just trust the process. Yeah, just trust the process. If there's a team, if there's a team moment where you're like, as a Bears fan, where you're like, man, this always happens. Here we go. The same old crap, same old Bears. Like, this is what we do. What would be that for you?
I would say blowing it in the closing clutch moments. Again, when the game
I
is
was
on,
hoping you'd say that.
blow it. It seems like that's what we do, right? So, um, it seems like that's what we do. Like I said, in clutch, gotta have it moments. It just seems like we just seem to piss our legs. So, um, like him throwing that damn interception, that back crushing interception, you
Yeah.
know, and you just knew like, all right, well, that's game.
Yeah.
Have it.
And Caleb Williams, he does that at the end of the game. And then to extend the game, he has this throw where everyone's like, there's no way he just did that. Did he just do that?
Right, bro.
Just ice in his veins, for better or for worse. It
That's
is
all
what
right.
it is.
Got to take the good with the bad with the young pup, man. So
That's it.
it'll
Yeah,
come on.
it's year two. I mean,
Yeah,
I always tell people he had the guts to do it. A lot of people, you'd be sitting there and you'd be like, why did he just take a sack?
right.
Like, what was that? So, I mean, listen, he tried it and hopefully he'll learn from it. So, and
Yeah,
hopefully his coach will take the points the next time they're in a playoff game and it's freezing cold. I'm just saying,
right.
against Matthew Stafford and the, Los Angeles Rams, I'm just saying.
Yeah, should have went for 2, but hey.
Anyways, okay. So, final question. If you could send a message to the team's owner, GM, anyone in leave the stadium out of this. Anyone in the Bears organization, who would you want to send a message to, and what would you say?
It would be the George McCaskey. Lower the goddamn ticket prices.
Are they getting higher?
Yeah, they're getting ridiculous. But it would definitely be George. You know what I'm saying? Lower the ticket prices, man. Lower the ticket prices. Yeah. I understand. You got money to make, but goddamn, you ain't gonna get it back in 8 games, right?
No.
Come on. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Your TV deals is where you make your money at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. This is where you make your money. The ticket sales and concessions and everything else. Look, I don't even care about the concessions. Just lower the damn ticket prices so more families can get to these games, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that is all I have for you.
Right.
Is there anything else that you want me to know, or is there anything else we didn't talk about that you think we should know about the Chicago Bears?
Just know that the Bears are going to be up and rising. Like I said, we picked up Thieneman, we picked up Jones, we picked up Roush, we picked up Thomas, we picked up Muhammad, we picked up Elliott and Vanderberg, who I said is going to be the steal of the draft at the D tackle position. Logan Jones is going to be a pro. He will be starting as a rookie at the center position. He is the quarterback and the anchor of the offensive line and basically the quarterback of the offense outside of the quarterback. Logan Jones is going to be asked to do so much. Keep your eye on Logan Jones, folks. Logan Jones is going to be your future and perennial All-Pro. The Bears will not see any drop-off from our previous All-Pro center to the center that we just drafted. Mark my words.
Fair. Do you think you all will win the NFC North this season? Okay.
We in the Packers' head. We ain't worried about. We in the Packers' head real. We ain't worried about. Detroit. Detroit is up and coming. They lost a lot. Defensively. Yeah. Not only did they lose a lot defensively, but they lost a lot coaching wise. You got turnover at the offensive coordinator position. You got a new coordinator coming from Arizona who didn't know how to get his best player the damn ball. Then on top of that, you lost your workhorse, and on top, you lost your workhorse to pick up another running back who is 2 yards in a cloud of dust running into the back of his damn offensive lineman. So good luck with that.
I love it. Thank you so much for being here. I will have all of your information in the description. Make sure that you follow on Twitter if you have Twitter, because we don't call it X. It's called Twitter. It will ever be Twitter. And it is worth a follow, especially during the season, because as far as watching the Bears games, you can definitely tell what's going to happen, because I think my TV is actually faster than yours. Yeah. So sometimes I see your tweets and I'm like, oh, he has no idea. And then I'll go back and I'm like, okay, he like, so the way that happens. So I love that. But thank you so much. I appreciate you doing this with me every year. And I appreciate you letting me annoy you and talking to me about the Bears. It's appreciated.
I appreciate doing it.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Anytime.